Hi, and welcome to the virtual presentation of Hawks Leave Home Part 2. Part 1 was a longer conversation with myself and two of our wonderful admission reps, Rosa Glombicki and Scott Carlson. Today will be much shorter, but we'll show you key dates that are coming up, as well as some logistical information to help support you and or your student as they move through the college application process. So just a slide here to welcome you to the CCRC. I am Robin Marath, post-secondary counselor, and I share my space with Effie Lucas, our career coordinator, and Sarah Hayes, our new CCRC assistant. So we will be joined in the fall by a TBA, a to be announced person from ISAC, the Illinois Student Assistance Commission, who will come and help us with our financial aid workshops and FAFSA questions in general. Our CCRC space is located off the Commons across from the library. So a couple key dates that I would like to make sure everyone's aware of. I realize that I am recording this in mid-August and August 1st has already passed, but that was the official launch of the college application season when the Common App, which is the platform that most of our students will use to apply to college, that is when that launched. And applications were open for the 26-27 school year. So the enrollment in the 26-27 school year. As we are sitting here in mid-August, for the next month or so, seniors will meet individually with their school counselors to talk about what their post-secondary plans are. So if you're watching this, it's likely that your student has the plans of attending college, a 2-year or 4-year, but all of our students, regardless of what their plans are, do meet with their counselors. And then if necessary, or if wanted to have an additional resource, they may meet with me. I just ask that they do have their senior meeting with their assigned school counselor first. If I am your assigned school counselor, you will then have your college meeting with me. For the week of September 1st, that is when a lot of our logistical things like our transcript and our school profile get updated. And so we do a mass upload of all class of 2026 transcripts at the same time. The reason that it's September 1st and not already is because we have to make sure that the senior courses are accurate. Senior courses are listed on the transcript, and because there are several schedule changes that occur within the first few weeks of school, we need to make sure that those are accurate before they get uploaded into the system. So they will be ready to go by the week of September 1st. And that is also when our school profile gets updated. September 10th is our first advisory lesson of the year, which is why this video came into being, is because there's a lot of information that we actually need to push out prior to September 10th. But rest assured, we will go over all of this information, including some other upcoming events that haven't yet been announced during advisory lesson on September 10th. So seniors will meet in larger groups with their assigned counselor for an advisory lesson. But I'm hoping that you're watching that beforehand and you can get a jump start on some of the tasks that are associated with the college admissions process. September 10th is a big day, so we have advisory in the morning, and then at night at Main East, we will be hosting our annual College Fair plus Post-Secondary Expo. So this is a wonderful opportunity to come to one location and find out all different types of post-secondary options. So it might be a 2-year college, a 4-year college, the military, could be a trade school, an apprenticeship, or something that doesn't require an undergraduate degree. So they'll all be located in the same location. It's a wonderful event and certainly our most popular event of the year. The next day, Thursday, September 11th, is when our college rep visits begin in the CCRC. So after the college fair, where we host, around 150 to 175 colleges, then some of them, or some that maybe didn't come to the college fair, will come and make personal visits to the CCRC to talk with our students about all things about their college. So it could be anything from majors that are offered, to financial aid, to scholarships, to what campus life is like. Most of these meetings occur during the lunch periods, so either A lunch or C lunch, depending. So we really are encouraging students to maybe forego. school at a time. On September 19th, our teacher letter of recommendation requests are due. And so I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get to a screen with the teacher recommendations on there, but just note that that is the deadline for requesting. It's not the deadline for them sending, it's the deadline for students to put in a formal request. Sooner is always appreciated as well, but that will be the deadline for students to make those requests. On October 1st, the FAFSA, or the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, will open. It opens on October 1st. It doesn't close, so there's no rush, but I know a lot of parents want to get it done right away, so it will open October 1st, and you will be doing the 26-27 FAFSA. So that's really important. If you try to do a different year, which might still be open, you're doing the wrong year. You want the 26-27 FAFSA. We will be hosting several workshops throughout the district in October and November to help our families with the FAFSA. So the idea is it's a working workshop. You would come in with your computer or computers provided, and we will be able to help you through that process. That's totally optional. Certainly there are families who do it from home and they're fine, but we do provide that service for our students. The dates on those workshops will be announced a little bit closer to the start of September. On October 15th, this would be the earliest early action deadline that we see. So for schools in the South, like Clemson, the University of Georgia, UNC Chapel Hill, University of South Carolina, they have an October 15th early action deadline, which is 2 weeks earlier than the traditional November 1st deadline. So just kind of keep that in mind. You'll have a lot of notifications from the colleges that you are planning on applying to, but sometimes it still sneaks up on students and families. So make sure that you understand that. My little asterisk here on the slide, Auburn actually has 4 rounds of early action, and the first one begins September 15th. So if you are planning on applying to Auburn and want to hit that first round, it is a September 15th deadline. November 1st is typically our biggest early action deadline date that we need to be aware of, but it's also the early decision deadline for a lot of schools. Most of our students are looking at a November 1st deadline in some capacity for at least one college, but potentially more than that on their list. This is a visual of our college application guide. So this is a one-pager, it's a flyer. It's available on the Class of 2026 Google Classroom, as well as the CCRC website. It's also located in every counselor's office. There's going to be a poster made of it outside the CCRC. There's a lot of places to find this very handy guide, and there are links that will take you to the documents that will help you with all tasks associated with filling out college applications. You can see the QR code in the bottom right. If you scan that, it will just pull up this PDF for you, so then you're able to click on the links from your phone. So you may want to do that as you're watching this, just to see if those links do work. I've tried them out, so I think they do, but if there's an issue, please let me know so that we can get those fixed. But it will go through everything you need from Common App FAQs, so frequently asked questions about the Common App. I actually created a cheat sheet, so it will take you through every single section of the Common App. And there's also videos, not of me, I promise. You've had enough probably after listening to the part 1 and part 2 of listening to me. So it is a different presenter talking about different sections of the Common App should you need it. Many students don't, but it's a nice resource. And then the linking the Common App and school links, that is a critical, that's the third line that you see. You cannot get out of this college application process without linking your school links and Common App accounts. So please get that taken care of. Even better if you could do that before your college meeting with your counselor. And then if you're going to request letters of recommendation and you need transcripts, that document will tell you how to do that. It's actually very easy. Kind of once you put your school links and Common Apps together, that's the transcript request. It's sort of an automatic. So, but you just need to follow the steps. You can follow up in the CCRC or ask your counselor in your meeting if you need additional help with that. Letters of recommendation, any forms that you need to fill out either for your counselor or for a teacher will be located here. So this is a really handy guide. I can't stress that enough. You're likely going to be asked by myself or your counselor, if you ask questions, have you gone to the college application guide? And this is what we're talking about. Okay, so just to reiterate, students must link their school links and Common App accounts in order to request transcripts and request letters of recommendation. Students, please do this. This is your responsibility. Parents, please let your students do this. It is so much easier if they just do this and take care of it than having you to try to go into their school links account. That just doesn't usually work well. Students are more than capable of doing this step by themselves. Once it's linked, this is kind of what happens. Your Common App list, your college list will get imported into your school links account. And so they'll be listed in a column called incomplete. That's because you haven't submitted any applications yet. Eventually they'll work their way into the completed and pending column, which is in the middle. And then of course we want to see all of those colleges in the right-hand column under accepted. So there's kind of a three-step placement of where they're going to be. But right now they're probably all hanging out in your incomplete column. Okay, and then you're going to choose deadlines so that your counselor knows when to submit your transcripts and other documents that are associated with that. So there's directions on how to do that with the linking of the two accounts. So please read through that carefully. Once you are ready to assign letters of recommendation, you're actually going to do that. I'm going to go back to the screen for a second. You're going to do this school by school. It's hard to see here, but it looks like a pencil. So it's like the edit button. So you're going to click on that pencil icon, and then you're going to get to a screen. So in this example, it's the University of Wisconsin-Madison. In the middle column, it says teacher evaluation, which is the same thing as a teacher letter of recommendation. And then it allows for one required, and then I think it says three optional, which is a lot. I wouldn't necessarily do all of those, but you definitely need one. So there's a plus sign here, which my red arrow is pointing at. If you click that, then you'll be able to search for the teacher's name. They're all preloaded into school links. So let's say you're going to ask Miss O'Halloran, then you can just start typing her last name. She'll pop up, you'll click on her, and then follow the prompts to have her added. One thing I will say is you have to do this for every school, but your teachers will not get 10 emails. They get one email once they're added they're added as a teacher, and then it gets applied to the rest. They write one letter that can go to all the colleges. But the challenge is for you as a student to remember that you have to go through and click on this pencil icon to add the teacher or teachers, if you can do more than one, to each school. So that's a really important step, okay? So something we'll definitely talk about in your college meetings. Okay, so to review, your transcript is an automatic request once you link school links and Common App. So whatever colleges are in Common App will get imported into school links, and then that's where the transcript request comes from. If you change your mind and you delete a college, no biggie. It just will get deleted from the transcript request portal on our side. A counselor letter you may need, you may not. There are many probably that you didn't even realize that don't actually accept letters. So for example, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign does not accept a counselor letter. They also don't accept teacher letters. So you may run into some instances where you just can't send letters of recommendation, and you just move on. You just move on to the next school to see if you can. There are plenty of students who apply to schools that don't require any letters, and so they never have to request a letter. Please don't request a letter of recommendation unless you actually need it. So I often talk to students and they're like, well, I'm just going to ask, Mr. Jones, just in case. Please refrain from the just in case. You either need it or you don't. Okay, so there's no just in case. You either need to send one or you don't. If it's optional, send it. It just gives you another opportunity for someone to talk about your candidacy for admission. So that's a great opportunity to take, okay? But you do have to ask your teacher in person. So the document that explains all of this on that college application guide walks you through step by step. And step one is you need to ask in person. So if you talk to them at the end of the last school year, I would follow up with them with a conversation face to face. That's not a GChat. Please, please, please don't ask your teachers or counselors for recommendation letters over GChat. That's not very professional at all. So you want to do it face to face. If you need to chat them and say, are you available to meet after school? That's great. But then actually follow it up with an in-person conversation. In order to help all of our students with all of the many tasks, I'm obviously, hopefully you got to this point of the video and you're still watching, but we do offer drop-in sessions. These are sessions in the CCRC that do not require an appointment, where students can come in. Most of them are Monday mornings. There's a couple one-offs with Tuesday or Wednesday just because of our morning meeting schedule that we had to adjust for. But most of them are Mondays. I will announce this through Google Classroom the night before all of these drop-in sessions, so students are aware, oh, okay, it's tomorrow morning, all right? So if you read your emails, you're in really good shape. This will help you. I would recommend putting these on your calendars now and set a calendar reminder now. And if you don't need it that particular week, then you can just wait and come the next week. They do start getting pretty crowded as we move closer to November 1st, but we will staff it accordingly. So it's myself and several other counselors who will be available to meet with students and answer questions. Now, this does not mean like we're going to go through every section with you one by one. This is you've done what you can do, and then you get stuck, or you're just not sure how to answer something, or you want somebody to review how you worded something, things like that. Okay, just want to review the September 10th College Fair and Post-Secondary Expo. Students, you can register. You don't really need to register for the expo, but you can see who's coming using that QR code. And then on the left, the College Fair, students, you can register for that to get a QR code so that you can share your information with college reps, and then they can share their information back with you. So it's a really nice procedure of being able to swap information, and it's really so they can contact you. It shows you're interested in the school. We know that for some schools that's really important, that they know that you have demonstrated interest with them, and then it's available for you to contact those reps should you have follow-up questions. There will be an attendance list on our CCRC website for the college fair, so you can see which colleges are coming, and that gets updated every few days. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit backwards. So we did a lot of the fall, and now I'm going to August 28th. So hopefully you're watching this before August 28th. August 28th is our Meet the Teacher Night. Myself and counselors will be available in the CCRC to answer questions about the college application process or post-secondary options in general during that time frame. So myself, and there'll be a rotating like 2 counselors per half-hour block throughout the night. So I'll always be in the CCRC, and then I'll be joined by 2 of my colleagues, in other words. So this would be a great opportunity to come. You don't even necessarily have to meet with your student's assigned counselor to ask logistical questions or advice or whatever it is. So it's really just to help parents maybe understand the process a little bit more after watching this video. If you're good to go and this video answered all your questions and your student is communicating with you about what needs to be done, then maybe you don't need this, but this is for students, or excuse me, for parents, since it's Meet the Teacher Night, who would find this valuable. That's all I have. This slide shows sort of our schedule for that night and who's going to be here, so you can, if you want to pick when your student's counselor will be here, you can come at that time. This concludes this video. I really appreciate you watching this all the way through and wanting to watch it to understand the process so that you can support your students. Students, if you are watching this, hopefully you have a better idea of the tasks that you need to do. I will say overall, my biggest piece of advice is to literally read everything that is sent to you. You're going to get so much communication, and it's coming at you through Google Classroom, through the colleges themselves, through Parent Square, etc. But to read through what you need to do, and students, if you're not sure if this is something really important, share the email with your parents so that they're aware, especially for things that come through regarding like financial aid, because those deadlines are really important to meet. Okay, so that's all I have for this video. Again, thanks for watching, and perhaps I'll see you at Meet the Teacher, Meet the Counselor night. If not, best of luck in this process. Have fun with it. It's the only time you're going to do something like this, so it's really exciting to see what all your opportunities are. Take care, Hawks.